This is the 18th WJTS News. I'm Prisma Lopez-Marin. Thank you for joining us. With all the intention of delivering a great show to benefit a significant organization, We'll Read and Sing for Food show director Scott Salmon introduced a line of musicians, storytellers, and the keynote speaker Jenna Quinn. The lineup of musicians performed a rich variety of guitar cadence and voices that resonated through the crowd at times where the audience attentively clapped and sang along with the musicians. Among the musicians was Jason Wilbur, who sings and plays guitar for John Prine. Also part of the show was singer-songwriter Andrea Worth of Evansville, Daniel Market of Muscle Shoals, Alabama, writer John Webb, who also happens to be the Metro editor and columnist for the Evansville Courier, and local talent show directors Scott Salmon, Debbie Sheeter, and Kyle Leakin. With this show, We'll Read and Sing for Food will be marking their $61,202 for 24 local causes and charities since their show began back in October 2011. Tuesday's night show was successful to deliver over $1,400 from audience donations to benefit the nonprofit organization, the Southwestern Indiana Child Advocacy Center Coalition, that is located locally here in Jasper. This center serves as a safe haven for children and families who are in need of a comfortable place to speak out of any harm they are experiencing from perpetrators. Tammy Lampert, Regional Coordinator of the Du Bois Southwestern Indiana Child Advocacy Center Coalition, indicated that the organization reached out to Jenna Quinn to be a keynote speaker at the benefit event to speak on child abuse prevention and awareness. A Texan native, Jenna Quinn is a nationwide motivational speaker who is an advocate for child abuse prevention. At the benefit event, Quinn speaks about her real-life experience of being a survivor of sexual abuse and the existence of Jenna's Law that passed back in August 2009 as its first child abuse prevention law in the U.S. to mandate K-12 to receive training for students, all school staffs, and parents. After the perpetrator from Jenna's case was sentenced to 20 years in prison, her first interview was with the Dallas News, and she speaks on their mission statement of keeping her name out of the story.
Something supernatural rose up inside of me, and I'm not a bold person, and I said no. I can't do that, because the last thing I did was say, if you've been through this, speak up, be safe, tell an adult, and do what you can to get help, because you deserve healing. And so how could I ask others to have courage and speak up when, I couldn't even say that my name was Jenna Quinn and that I'd gone through something like that. So after that, it was incredible the amount of people that really were looking for someone to speak up about it, for someone to talk about this issue and be transparent. And that's really where all of this started, and I've been doing this for 12 years now.
During Quinn's visit to Jasper, she had also engaged 400 sixth graders from 7 counties at the Cabby O'Neill Gymnasium and speaks about her experience and the purpose of conveying awareness.
They all were really receptive. You never know what that age group is going to do or how immature they may be, but they were wonderful. Their eyes were glued to the screen. They were listening. They were attentive. And I had a lot of students come up to me afterwards and, want to talk, and they felt really comfortable and empowered. My goal was to empower them that, if something has happened, it is not your fault. You were picked, and tell a safe adult. So I'm really happy that the schools were able to get that education, get that awareness, and, speak up for themselves.
Quinn declares the significance of seeking help, as people deserve to be whole and deserve to get help, and it's crucial to get help from someone who will help take action. Quinn also was able to see familiar faces in the Jasper area as Pamela Vining work CASA advocates and supported her through her healing process when they lived in Texas and recently moved back to Jasper to care for their parents and have been living here for 2 years so far. To learn more about the nonprofit organization, the Southwestern Indiana Child Advocacy Center Coalition, Email Tammy Lampert at swicacc@gmail.com. And also, to learn more about Jenna Quinn or Jenna's Law, check her website at jennaquinn.org. Yesterday, the Greater Jasper Consolidated School Board held a designated meeting to present the public with results of the district advanced ed team that gathered in Jasper for 3 days to generate data about the district. Advanced Ed is a nonprofit, nonpartisan organization that conducts rigorous on-site external reviews of pre-K through 12 schools and school systems to ensure that all learners realize their full potential. The Advanced Ed team was represented by members from Indiana as well as of out of state. David Gillette was the lead evaluator of the Advanced Ed team that was here in Jasper, and he gave the presentation to the board and public about the key components that were reviewed by the group. The presentation spoke on the district accreditation to sustain improvements dealing with creating the capacity of school systems and schools to focus on the increase of student learning, concentration of efficiency throughout the school district, with an encouragement of growth and civic participation to achieve administrative and student excellence. Superintendent Dr. Tracy Lorai explains Greater Jasper's involvement with the Advanced Ed group.
We belong to an organization called Advanced Ed. Advanced Ed is an organization that schools voluntarily belong to, and they have some quality standards in the areas that are proven to be practices of high quality learning and institutions. And so that process of looking at yourself critically against those standards, and then they come in to validate the things that are happening in our district against those standards.
Dr. Lorai says that the goal for the Jasper district is to achieve the highest rating in all the standards and indicators, which will demonstrate evidence of a high quality learning institution. She adds that the presentation provided insight that summarized the written version of the findings that will be presented to her and the local subcommittee of administrators, board members, and teachers in 4 to 6 weeks. Dr. Lorai indicates what the next steps will be after reviewing the Advanced Ed team findings.
What we will do as a district is review the more detailed findings of the visit, discuss that as looking at, how to determine what our next steps are in terms of strategic planning, and we'll certainly be required to address the areas that they indicate as a member of Advanced Ed. And so we will analyze the report and then put into place a strategic plan for the next 2 years in making sure that we address what those areas are that they indicate.
Dr. Lorai adds that there were areas in the report that paralleled some of the findings that the local subcommittee had predetermined to be areas in need of improvement. The DuBois County Sheriff's Department says charges are pending as they investigate a two-vehicle crash that took place Wednesday afternoon on State Road 145 just north off of Broughton Hill Road in Birdseye. Deputies say the accident took place at around 4:45 involving two vehicles, one owned by Rick Phipps of Magnet and another owned by Mark Grigsby McClure of Leavenworth. Authorities say one of two vehicles ran off the road and rolled over on its top side. They also say that the crash is still being investigated and more details will be included. The charges filed will be released as soon as their investigation is completed. Deputies say Grigsby McClure complained about shoulder pain and Phipps' injuries were unknown, but everyone declined to be transported by ambulance. The Birdseye first responders, Memorial EMS, and conservation officers with the Indiana Department of Natural Resources assisted at the scene. Next Act Inc. is planning an open house at the Astor Theater on Sunday, April 17th, to honor and recognize the iconic downtown theater's 80th 80 years of service to the community. The Astra opened with much fanfare on April 17, 1936, with a showing of MGM's The Unguarded Hour. NEXAC chairperson Leslie Humby says the group has hosted a number of fundraising events in the building and now want to take the opportunity to open the doors to anyone who has wanted to see the theater but hasn't had the right opportunity to do so. She says in their mind there is no better time to do that than on the 80th anniversary of its opening. The Astra's open house is free and open to the public and will be held from 12:30 till 2:30 p.m. Light refreshments will be available free of charge, and for those interested, a brief presentation will be made about the Astra's history and its new direction at 1:30. For additional information about the Astra or NEXAC Inc., please visit www.thenexac.org. And please go ahead and stay tuned. Weather and sports still to come on 18 WJTS News.